Sorry, y'all. I was waiting for my cue from the left and it came from the front. Happy Sunday. Good morning. I'm Chrissy Kim, the president of your board of trustees. Welcome to you, old friends and new, young and seasoned. You are an essential part of our celebration today. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We're glad you are here, whether you join us in person or online. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. As we do each week, and as we begin our gathering, I respectfully acknowledge that I speak to you today from occupied Puyallup and coastal Salish ancestral lands. I pay respect to elders past and present and extend that respect to their descendants and all Indigenous people. We are joining you again today in multi-platform mode. You'll see some of us here in the sanctuary and others joining us online on Zoom. We continue to watch COVID risk levels and will continue to let you know if there are any changes for upcoming services. For those meeting in person today, we invite you to join us for coffee time following the service. For those in person, this facility is equipped with a hearing assistance system. Devices are available at the table in the back of the sanctuary. Coming up, the last weekend in February and the first weekend in March, there are opportunities for those new to our congregation and for members to connect with coffee, tea, and conversation. 3 of these gatherings will be in person at member homes and 1 gathering will be online in Zoom. In addition to these 4 events, a family event is being planned and we're looking for a person to host this family event. Details for registering with Susan Kunkel can be found in the weekly e-news. Please register as soon as you can for these gatherings so the host can prepare for the number of guests who will attend. Third Friday potluck is this Friday. Please arrive at 11:30 and use the downstairs door to the kitchen to enter. We'll eat at 12 o'clock. Speaker will start at 12:30 and will finish around 1:30. Game night for adults is returning on Saturday, March 11th, and you can see Fran McLaughlin for more information or see information in the e-news. As always, details for upcoming services can be found on our website or in the e-news. If you want to submit information to be included in the e-news or in these Sunday announcements, thank you for submitting that information by Tuesday. The Tuesday deadline allows us to confirm that there are no conflicting events, time for editing, or adding additional information for clarity. You'll appreciate that these steps take time, so that's why Tuesday is the deadline. We're also using a new email address for submissions that you can find in the e-news, and that is tahomauunews@gmail.com. Thank you to all of you who have been volunteering your time and talents to make our congregation better. Volunteer opportunities include preparing coffee for our time together after worship service, and we invite you to volunteer by emailing us at board@tahomauu.com. Next Sunday, our speaker will be Victoria Poling, a Unitarian Universalist minister currently serving as the contract minister to Vashon Island Unitarian Fellowship. Her sermon is Stirring the Soup, and she will explore building community through the Stone Soup story and invite us to consider what new stew we might cook up together when each of us brings our own unique gifts to add to the pot. Now, Reverend Linda leads our service, A Perfect Heart, and will explore what it means to love and be loved. Let us join together in worship in our exploration of loving and being loved.
Good morning. Today is a day of adventure and love. So come this morning with your open heart and a spirit of play and your whole self. Each day we journey, though the path may seem ordinary and the day filled with dull details. But adventure awaits those who keep their eyes open. So let us explore together today, and with luck, we'll find a hidden treasure. Maybe the treasure is someone sitting near you. Each day we're invited to love, though the faces are the same most of the time, the words routine. But at any moment, love, like love can come alive and faces can become magical, touched by the aura of love. And the world can shine with a new beauty, all because we look with the eyes of love. So remember this day close to Valentine's Day. And especially remember today that it is a day of adventure and love. So let us explore and let us love together. It is good to be together this morning. I'd like to invite Fran McLaughlin to come and light our chalice for us this morning. Hang on a second, Fran. Wait till you appear. Oh, is it going to be one of those mornings, friends? We love technology. We are grateful for technology. We appreciate, we're saying nice things to the technology, so it'll start working again. We appreciate our technology, right? All of us together, we appreciate our technology. It hasn't worked yet. Oh, Marianne, were you saying something different? Oh, okay. I was thinking one bad vibe in the room would do it. There we are. Thank you, Fran.
We light this chalice in deep respect for the mystery and the holiness of life, in honor and gratitude for those who have gone before, with love and compassion for those who dwell among us, and with hope and faith for the generations to come.
Our hymn is number 34 in the gray hymnal, Though I May Speak.
And I give ship on the free.
Nope. That's mine. There we are. Am I on? Is this one on? Is lavalier on? Yes, it is. I would like to invite all the folks who are over in the children's area to come, not come up front, but come sit with parents if you have them, or sit in the front row. I'm going to tell a story today, which is different to what I have to come this way. Yeah, there we go. All right. Just come on and have a seat in the front row, or sit with your mom or dad or whomever. I have a story to tell, and I do better when I'm telling stories when I'm walking around. Or you can come sit with me up here, and I'll talk to y'all this way and I'll talk to them that way. So I have this story. It's called A Perfect Heart, and it is one of my favorite stories. Some of you will have heard this possibly like 8 years ago when I told it the first time. Maybe I've told it another time. Have I? Okay. You just remember a lot.
I do.
Yeah. All right. So there was this really strange place, this really strange land where people, instead of having their hearts in their chests, like we have our hearts, they carried them in boxes outside of their bodies. Now, I'm not quite sure how this worked, but it's a story. So things are kind of magical in stories always, right? So they carried their hearts in boxes. And there was this one man who made his living by carrying his heart around and showing it to people. And the reason that he made money with it is that his heart was so perfect, so completely perfect. It had no blemishes on it at all. It was pink and beautiful and shiny, and it was smooth all along. Now, most people didn't have hearts like that. They were, a little bumpy in places, and maybe they had a little tear somewhere because someone had said something mean to them. Just all kinds of things happened, and their hearts would get a little bit, funny and damaged. Well, one day this man was in a small village and he was showing his heart and charging people money and making his living the best way he knew how. And so everyone was gathered around and he opened it up and the whole crowd went, ooh. And then they went, ah. Yes, and because it was so beautiful, they thought it was just the most wonderful thing that they'd ever seen. And then, surprisingly, an old woman who was kind of bent over and didn't walk really fast, just kind of slowly walked in. And she walked over to where the man was, standing with his heart out, and she had her heart, and she opened it, and it was, let me tell you, just a mottled mess of different kinds of and colors. Oh my gosh, just like colors that you would not believe that shouldn't be on a heart, probably. I mean, it was just little patchwork and so on. And the man gasped. I mean, aloud, he gasped because it was so different from the way the rest of the hearts were, and he was just stunned with it. And she, to everyone's great surprise, reached onto the man's heart and plucked a piece off and put it on her own heart. And then she plucked a piece off her own heart and put it on his heart. And the man fainted dead away. He had never seen anything like this before. And when he came to, I mean, the people were there trying to wake him up. They were fanning him and shaking him, but they could hardly get him awake. So he came awake, and he knew at that moment that he had lost his livelihood. He had lost everything. And he wasn't quite sure what to do. He said, "What have you done? You have destroyed my perfect heart." And the old woman said, "No, you don't have a perfect heart. I have a perfect heart." And he thought, and everyone more or less thought she was insane. Of course you would think she was insane. Her heart was just a ragtag collection. It just looked awful, except for the really pretty pink shiny piece that she had just put on, which was from his heart. It was just terrible. And so the people dispersed, and the man, not quite knowing what to do, walked out of town, and he sat down next to the road and cried and wondered what would become of him. And someone came over, a person walking along the road came and sat down and said, "My friend, what is wrong? Why are you crying? What is going on?" And he said, "Well, I had a perfect heart, and now I don't have a perfect heart." And the person said, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That sounds terrible. I'm so sorry this has happened to you. You know what happened to me is that my beloved friend died last week. It kind of broke my heart. It was really terrible to lose my friend." And the man, who no longer had a perfect heart, said, "That sounds terrible. I'm so sorry for you. And the person who had come along, who had lost their friend, took a little piece of their heart and offered it to the man. He wasn't quite sure what to do with it, but he took it and put it onto his heart. He got up and walked some more, and he came to his town, and he went to a food seller, and he said, I'm really sorry. I don't have any money, but I'm hungry. Can you help me? And the person said, well, yes, if you're hungry and you don't have any money, here, let me give you some fruit and some bread. And I hope that helps. And by the way, the fruit seller opened up their box. Have a little piece of my heart. And the man, not quite sure what to do, thought, well, apparently this is what you do. So here, have a piece of my heart. And he still was in deep grief. His heart was still broken. But as he went along, he found that every time he said, this is why my heart is broken, everyone would say, yes, my heart is broken too. And as he traveled, that beautiful, shiny, perfect heart started looking more like that old woman's heart. She knew that she really was the one with the perfect heart. And so he found his way back to the village. He found his way back to the village and sought her out and walked to her and said, my friend, you of the perfect heart, you of the one who has taught me what it means to have a heart that loves perfectly, let me give you a piece of my heart. And so it was. He remained in the village and became a beloved, beloved friend, a beloved member of their community. And everyone knows now that the only way to have a perfect heart is to give it away a little bit at a time to all of your beloved friends. And that's our story for today. I would invite the adults to stand up and make an arch and the kids to hand through while we sing to them and go back to the children's area. As you go.
We now come to the part of our service where we share our financial generosity with the church. This is a challenging time for all, the people and the churches and the small businesses and all. This is your opportunity to help support Tahoma UU, to help us continue to be here, to serve your spiritual needs and to serve the needs of the community. You'll see on the screen how you can share your generosity online. And for those of you in the sanctuary, collection baskets will come around for those that need or want to donate. The most important thing is, as Linda said in her story, it's through the sharing that we all grow and that we're all better. And sharing your little bit of finances with the church helps us continue to help you.
Bob, you can go ahead and lead the next part.
All right. This is where we dedicate the money that has been shared with us. We dedicate ourselves and our offerings to the work of this congregation, weaving a tapestry of love we call community, both within and beyond these walls. It's now time for a reading. Love, like truth and beauty, is concrete. Love is not fundamentally a sweet feeling, not at heart a matter of sentiment, attachment, or being drawn toward. Love is active, affective, a matter of making reciprocal and mutually beneficial relation with one's friends and enemies. Love creates righteousness or justice here on earth. To make love is to make justice. As advocates and activists for justice know, loving involves struggle, resistance, risk. People working today on behalf of women, Blacks, lesbians, and gay men, the aged, the poor in this country and everywhere, know that making justice is not a warm, fuzzy experience. I think also that sexual lovers and good friends know that the most compelling relationships demand hard work, patience, and a willingness to endure tensions and anxiety in creating mutually empowering bonds. For this reason, loving involves commitment. We are not automatic lovers of self, others, world, or God. Love does not just happen. We are not love machines, puppets on the strings of a deity called love. Love is a choice, not simply or necessarily or rational choice, but rather willingness to be present to others without pretense or guile. Love is a conversion to humanity, a willingness to participate with others in the healing of a broken world and broken lives. Love is the choice to experience life as a member of the human family, a partner in the dance of life, rather than an alien in a world or as a deity above the world, aloft, aloof, and apart from human flesh.
All right, friends. I'd like to invite the children to come back and join us. I know y'all are having fun over there, but we're going to do something really fun over here. So I need someone to help me by passing, y'all may be not so surprised to find out there's Play-Doh available. And is somebody else willing to do some passing out? Would you like to help pass out? No is an okay answer to that, would you? Whoever would like to help. Do you want to pick yours first? There are lots of color options. And you may be saying to yourself, or you may have guessed, why would we have Play-Doh in the service, right? Those of you who read the ad for this Sunday morning know that I said that it was going to be an interactive service. And as people were gathering this morning, I was noticing that there were not as many people as I had anticipated as early on. This is something I do every Sunday. Those of you who've been here for a while know that I do this every Sunday. I look around and I go, wow, there are not very many people here. And then 10 minutes later, everybody's gotten here and I'm, just anyhow. So interactive service, and this is going to be an interactive service. Now in doing our interactions, it can be a parent and child can be one unit. So open up your Play-Doh. Go ahead and open it up. Is it a little challenging to do? And let me tell you, I just like so seriously overbought on the Play-Doh. Because like I wanted to be sure everybody had Play-Doh. And you know what I'd like you to do with it? Has anybody guessed what I want you to do with your heart, with your Play-Doh? Oh, I said it, darn it. Had you guessed? Had you all guessed? So what I want you to do is I want you to make a heart. You get to, oh, she getting it for you. All right. I was going to give you a choice, but that's okay. That's all right. We all get to choose. I have a green heart. So make a heart, however that happens for you, however that works. Make it as perfect as you need it to be. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear you, Fran. Yours looks like Minnie Mouse. Awesome. I think that's a beautiful way to have a heart. Now, y'all at home, I am really sorry I can't send you Play-Doh, but I want you to think about your heart. I want you to perhaps draw a heart for yourself. And what we're going to do is we're going to think, I'm going to just like talk a little bit about love, right? Because I think it's important that we think about and talk about love while you're really getting to getting your heart as perfect as you need it to be. So, you know, and the holiday that's coming up is Valentine's Day. And I want to be really clear that Valentine's Day and all that romance and romantic love thing, that's like so last week. You know, that if we're going to really celebrate love, we need to celebrate it in a somewhat different way. We need to celebrate that all the kinds of love that there is in the world. You know, it's not just roses and chocolates, although I would have to say chocolates really should be included in every kind of love, as long as that's okay with you, assuming you eat sugar and, you know, aren't allergic and all those sorts of things. So I want us to think a little bit about the kinds of love there are in the world. Does anybody have a kind of love? What kinds of love do we have in the world? Nature. Love of nature. Whoa, that was one I hadn't thought of. So loving the world, loving being out where things are wild. Yes? Yes? Yes, please. Loving your friends. You were going to say friends too. Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, loving your friends. That's another kind of love. You know, I think about like family love. And the what? Parents, loving your parents. Yes, that's a very important one. Oh, your parents, not parents loving kids, parental love for their children. Yeah, love in your family. I mean, that's a really good one. Did I hear somebody say something? Self-love, loving yourself. That's really critical. That is really, really critical. So family love. I was at family love. So there's lots of different kinds of family love, isn't there? There's the people that we're related to, you know, maybe the people who gave birth to us or the people we gave birth to or the people we've married. There's family love, and there's also chosen family, right? We have to remember that there are people in our lives who are so close that they're like our family. I was just thinking this morning about, as I saw my cat Obi finally sitting in a box. I mean, he's been slacking for the 6 months that he's been part of our family, but our animal companions are very much part of our family as well. And so what I want you to do, we'll start here. What I want you to do is to find someone and tell them about someone in your family, or about some love in your family. And then you're going to exchange little pieces of your heart with each other. So as I say, interactive. So y'all can get up and walk around and talk to each other. And it can be 3 people sharing, 2 people sharing. Just find someone. One for you, one for Michael.
Okay, love for my 3 huggy, wonderful dogs that were giving me so much joy this morning.
All right. Well, and I have love for my cat Obi and my black lab. Friends, let's come back together for a moment. We're not done. Let's come back together for a moment. Oh, you guys are having too much fun. There are more questions, y'all. More questions. I'm trying. It's like when I was serving the congregation in Spokane. And I was trying to get them quiet, ringing a bell. And I kept ringing it and ringing it and ringing it, and everybody just kept talking, kind of like they are in here right now. And finally, oh, you have a beautiful heart. And finally, somebody came up to me and said, do you know how annoying that is to have that bell going on? Oh, friends, friends, friends. I started it. Y'all. Yeah, I know. Go hit the gong. So we're not done yet. So you can continue to be up and around. I have 2 more questions for you. I mean, geez. Y'all were having too much fun. How's it going online? I hope y'all are having too much fun too over there. So the second question, the next kind of love that I want us to share with each other about is love of friends. So tell each other about a friend who is particularly special to you and who you're remembering today, and just keep making this perfect heart more perfect. Off you go.
My friend Regina, who is an uber extrovert and pounces on people. Want to go hiking with her? People come to
All right, friends. We have one more kind of love to share with one another. I love, you guys are having a lot of fun in here. I just so appreciate that. Yeah, and as I said to the one introvert I could identify, I apologize to all of you because I know this is not your usual thing. So the third kind of love, that I invite you to take a moment to share about is loving the world. And this could be perhaps, as Sheila noted, loving the natural world and being out in it. But it could also be the work of making justice in the world. What is it that we do? What is it that you do out in the world to make it a better place, to help those around us who are in need? All of that kind of work. So take a few minutes and share with each other.
It's a safe place and I love it.
I think that's good. So before I say anything else, I just have to say, Start to bring your conversations to a close, do whatever last final exchanges you need, and then make your way back to your seats, please. Find your way back to your seat as you finish up. I want to share just a moment, a sweet memory that came back that I shared with one of the people I shared it with. Yes, what? Oh, I need to put that back up. Thank you. Back to the pulpit. Did I get it? No, I didn't. There we go. Thank you. It takes a whole congregation to make a church work. Friends, I want to share with you, we did this same service 8 years ago, and this is a repeat of it. And in that service, there was one person that I remember who was there, who was a part of a unit with her daughter. And her daughter had made, who was 12 at the time, had made an anatomical heart, because that's just the kind of person she is. And she was collecting little pieces of colored Play-Doh to create the rest of the veins and other structures of the heart. And I just love that we all make our own hearts, and we make them differently, and we bring our own creativity and sweetness and beauty to the process. I invite you now to just take a few moments to reflect quietly on the beauty of your perfect heart, the one that you can hold in your hand and the one that beats inside your chest. Take a moment to remember all of what you love. Take a moment to rest in the joy of the love that you share with each other, the people you've shared it with in this room and online and in our community and out in the world. And if there's some way that you want to carry this back out into the world, I invite you to set an intention for how to do that. Let's just pause and breathe together for a few moments. So may it be. Amen. The last lines of that song are, "The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return." In a few moments, we are going to sing to each other. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. So let us receive each other's gifts in love. And let's give to each other with courage and caring, share together in peace and adventure in joy. So may it be with us this day and in the days to come until we are together again. Amen and blessed be.
As Linda moves to the chalice, these words: we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And so before we do that,
Uh-oh.
because everybody here knows what I missed, we're going to sing Libby Roderick's beautiful song. Has anyone ever told you you were anything less than beautiful? And I would encourage you as you sing this to think of a person that you might sing it to. Sing it to the world and then sing it to yourself. We'll do it 3 times.
That your love is a miracle. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Shall I lead it? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.